Which of these kids is doing his own thing? Come on, can you tell which one? And you guess which kid is doing his own thing? Guess before my song is done. And now my song is done.
Hello everyone, this is Jason Roggasch. I just watched the AJ David Duke debate, quote unquote. First, it wasn't a debate. It was typical AJ sleight of hand, typical Alex Jones sleight of hand. David Duke is CIA. He worked for Air America in Laos in 1971. That was admitted by at least 2 Air American pilots. He fought the communists in Laos for the Central Intelligence Agency. Air America was pure CIA, drug running, counterintelligence, counterinsurgency, underground CIA black project. That dovetailed into other Vietnam-era military horrors like the Phoenix Project. As far back as high school, he talked about how great Nazis were, according to his friends, family members, teachers, anybody interviewed that knew him. He went to LSU and made a name for himself as a pro-white racial idealist, as he would later dub himself. He is a Nazi, and he fits perfectly in with what the CIA is. This is because the CIA was founded, in part, after World War II by Nazi information from Reinhard Gehlen's old Nazi intel group. Duke gets a lot of attention from the mainstream press worldwide. Now, I never, ever trust anyone who gets a lot of attention from the mainstream press. Because if they're on television that much and they hurt the New World Order, then they're not going to be on television. And certainly him talking about Zionism, if Zionism controlled everything, he certainly gets a lot of attention from the Zionists. Duke gets on Fox, CNN, etc. and always comes off as the oppressed underdog. Go watch it. No shit. Go watch the Wolf Blitzer stuff. Go watch it on some of the stuff on Fox. It's amazing. He's always claiming, and he did it with AJ. He's always claiming Zionist control. What he really means is Jewish control. This guy's a Nazi. He's talked about how bad Jews were, international Zionism, international Jewry, since he was a little kid, since he was literally in high school. But by the way, he always says Jew, but he never says CIA or U.S. military. He never takes the national security state. Other than the FBI, he talks about some of the FBI infiltration inside the Klan, but I wonder, I think he might know more about that than what he's saying about the FBI, CIA mole in the KKK, because I think he might have been. There's a chance that he was recruited by the CIA, and then when he joined the Klan and did all of his Klan work, became the Grand Dragon Master, whatever the fuck he became, he was actually an FBI mole and probably maybe was to infiltrate it. Who knows? That's just that's conjecture and unimportant at present. Let me get back to David Duke blames Israel and Zionism instead of the CIA for the reasons we are in Afghanistan and Iraq. Taking the blame away from the real rulers and putting it on the Christ-killing Hebes. The CIA is full of Nazi bastard psychopath wackos who are part of an underground network of Nazis who fled Germany after the World War II. They went underground and had hundreds of billions of dollars in stolen European loot to fund this underground Reich. They went to South America, all over Europe, Asia. They had paintings, gold, jewels, the riches of Europe that the Nazis had plundered, and much of which has never been seen again. Duke, the CIA puppet, is part of it. He's part of this underground Reich. He blames the Jews for all the world's ills. When asked about non-Jews who control us, he minimizes them and calls them Gentile collaborators. But they are just puppets of the Jews. That's what Duke claims. Duke also believes poor people should not have children, particularly if they receive welfare. He thinks the state should tell poor people to abstain, as he calls it. And by the way, Duke is very good at taking pure hate, evil dookie water, pun intended, and dressing it up. It's Orwellian, and it makes Frank Luntz look like an amateur. Duke is doing the same shit since the 1960s, and he believes it. Or at least he probably does believe it, because if he doesn't believe it, then he's the greatest goddamn actor since Spencer Tracy. Duke wants to blame the Jesus-killing Jews. He wants all the CIA fascist corporate wars to be put on the Jew and Zionism and Israel. And Duke, in this master debate, get it? goes on and on about how oppressive Israel is, about Jews marrying non-Jews. And when AJ rightly points out the anchor baby element, Duke blew right past it. And by the way, we support tyrants all over the world. Israel is just one of many, many, many that we support as the American empire. You ever heard of Saudi Arabia? And of course, Duke hates Israel and tries to convince the stupid Zionism is the real enemy, not the CIA or fascism. And of course, he defends the good old Catholic Church. Never mind, the Catholic Church is the richest by far of all the organized religions, denominationally speaking, of course. Duke Jones felt like Duke promotion and David Duke trying to come off as, once again, the oppressed minority and always applicable. Complaining to Jones for more time, silly shit that he does on Fox, CNN, and anywhere he gets press from. AJ did his best to seem agitated, but it really felt like an act. See, folks, AJ knows his audience. They are white and not bright. They buy gold and silver at an 8% markup because Alex Jones has convinced them of an inevitable dollar collapse and gold's intrinsic value. He scares them about fluoride and sells them no shit, pills for their old white male spongy prostates. By the way, how's Jade Helm going? Jones and Duke are not, however, in the same part of the right-wing control dynamic. Jones plays the aw shucks Southern character who just loves the free market and wants it to solve all the world's. While Duke, he's the bright, white, articulate racist. He gives intellectual arguments for subjects that are fear and ignorance based. His mom was an alcoholic, and I believe that David Duke hates himself. And he has taken that hate and thrown it out into the world, and now he has commoditized it, with the help of the CIA, of course. And now he sits as the vocal head of the underground Reich. Like Rush Limbaugh for the Republicans. He says what they want, but they just can't publicly. So to conclude, Duke's agenda was clear to me. Blame Zionism, Israel, Jews for CIA fascist wars in the Middle East. Muddy the waters enough to get hardcore right-wing conspiracy theorists to look away from the real oppressors, the CIA, Nazis, and fascism.